25-year-old Chief Warrant Officer Andrew.
There is shocking and tragic news tonight of the death of baseball's Billy Martin. The baseball player and manager whose career path came through Detroit died in a traffic accident in New York State. A Detroiter was with him at the time. Fred McLeod is here with more tonight. And Fred,
Martin was riding in a pickup truck with his longtime friend from Detroit, William Reedy. They were close to Martin's home when suddenly the truck skidded off the road, plunged 300 feet down a gully, rusting in a culvert at the foot of Martin's driveway. Billy was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead from head and internal injuries. Reedy is in serious condition, but his injuries do not appear life-threatening. Reedy has been charged with driving while intoxicated. Teammates have talked about Billy and their memories of him.
Myself, Whitey Ford, and Billy, we went out together when we were playing with each other. And we just had fun.
Oh, I think Billy was going to live that way no matter what. I think it's just, it was part of Billy. They nicknamed him Battling Billy, and that's basically what Billy was. And
Martin managed here for nearly 3 years, of course, with the Tigers, leading the Tigers to a divisional crown in 1972. Broadcaster Ernie Harwell remembers Martin's stories like they happened yesterday.
He was a feisty little guy and had a lot of personality and a lot of drive. He got in trouble from time to time. But I think overall he was a fine manager, and there are a lot of rumors that he might come back and manage the Yankees for the 6th time, but now, of course, it won't happen.
Billy Martin tonight, dead at the age of 61, and it is terribly ironic that a man who made no bones about his ability to drink perishes in a car accident as a passenger because of drinking and driving. More coming up in sports.
all right, thank you, Fred. And as Fred said, we'll have more on Billy Martin's career and his tragic death a little bit later in this newscast. Jennifer?
As a manager, Martin liked to kick dirt at umpires and give them a lot of choice words. But he also argued with his own players, including superstar Reggie Jackson. And Martin loved to brawl and drink off the field. That combination got him fired a lot. 5 times Martin was hired to manage the New York Yankees, and 5 times he was fired by George Steinbrenner. Besides losing a lot of jobs, Billy also lost some off-the-field fights. Tiger manager Sparky Anderson loved Billy's competitiveness.
In my opinion, he wasn't a good manager. He was a great manager. He was a manager that, when he managed against you, he managed with no fear. He had no fear of the fans. He had no fear of the press. He had no fear of ownership. To me, was one of the best I have ever been in against. And I've been in with some good ones, Mock and Herzog, all of them. But I thought Billy was as good as any man I've ever been in there with.
Well, I was shocked. He's one of those...
Call you in the dugout anytime I want. That's not the way it's going to be, George. Well, you're damn right it is, and if you don't like it, you're fired. You haven't hired me yet.
It was a victory for him every time he went back. It proved George needed him. In his eyes, that's my belief. That he believed every time he went back, George needed him, which he did, and he had proved again that he was the champion.
Only last week, Martin and Steinbrenner entertained 2,000 underprivileged kids in Tampa. Steinbrenner played Santa.
The Sports Center, along with Carolyn Burns, I'm Chris Fowler. Unfortunately, on this holiday, Carolyn, we have another tragic accident on the roads involving a sports figure to report.
Yes, I'll tell you what, the sports world is shocked and saddened right now by the death of former manager Billy Martin tonight. Martin was killed in a one-car accident near his home in Fenton, New York. And according to police reports, Martin was a passenger in his pickup truck that was being driven by a friend, William Reedy. The truck slid off an icy road and down an embankment about 300 yards before coming to a stop at the foot of Martin's driveway. Martin was taken to Wilson Memorial Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival after suffering from possible head injuries and severe internal injuries. He was 61. Reedy is listed in serious condition, but he's been charged with driving while intoxicated. Now, grief and shock has been expressed by friends and associates of Billy's, among them former teammate and current president of the American League, Bobby Brown.
He played great in big games, and I think that I'll always remember him for that.
Billy Martin ever wanted was to be a Yankee, and he spent most of his life realizing that dream. As a player, Martin was part of 5 World Series winners. 14 years after his retirement, Martin was named manager of his beloved team. He would manage the Yankees 5 different times in his life, winning it all in 1977. He will probably be most remembered for his frequent run-ins with umpires and players. But there was a side to Billy Martin not many people knew. He was a compassionate man who spent time helping others, like this appearance for underprivileged children just last week.
But I heard him explain
And Billy Martin was a winner who will deeply be missed by those whose lives he touched.
I may have not been the greatest